In this video, we're going to take a look at a new addition to 3D Coat's primitives in 4.5, and that is the addition of the primitives history stack. It actually operates separately from the tool options panel, so you will need to actually bring it up. Go through the Windows menu under pop-ups, and you'll see it close to the top, primitives history. You can leave it free floating if you like, but if you dock it in your interface, each time you come back to 3D Coat, it will remain there. Alternatively, you could assign a hotkey to it if you like by hitting the End key on your keyboard, that's END, and then assigning a specific hotkey to bring it up if you don't want to dock it. So we'll go ahead and dock it right here. And I'm going to clear one that I was previously working on by right-clicking and choosing delete. Hit yes. Okay, so we're going to start afresh here. Let's go to the gears, and I'll just make some slight adjustments here. Scale it out. Maybe adjust the teeth setting a little bit, and maybe sharpness. Gear depth, and the inner hole radius. The main thing to remember is that 3D Coat's going to record the history whenever you hit the Enter key or the Apply button in the Tool Options panel. And it's going to remember what mode that you chose, whether you're in Add, Subtract, Intersect, or Split. So I'm first going to give myself enough resolution here. Because I'm in voxel mode, I need to add enough resolution to the layer, and it's kind of like a document in Photoshop. You don't want to start off with a low resolution document and try to squeeze a lot of high resolution image data into it. It just won't work. Same thing applies with voxels here. You need to basically scale up the container or the layer in this case. So that looks like that should be enough, and I'll hit apply. I just want to say on a side note that when you're in surface mode, you don't necessarily have to worry about this nearly as much. You just only when you're in voxel mode. I'll hit apply or the Enter key. And so not only has 3D Coat filled it with voxels, but I can now see a new entry here in the primitives history. So I'm going to stay on the same layer. Let's say I want to continue stacking some of these gears, or maybe adding another primitive altogether. So I can adjust my inner radius. And let's move that down. And we're going to use this as a cutting object. All I have to do is either hold the Control key, and when I hit apply or the Enter key, that control is going to invert the process. So it's going to basically subtract or cut away. Or you could just switch to subtract mode. Now hit apply. You can see a second entry is added here. So the most recent is going to be on top, and you can see that reflected here because we changed the mode. Now if we want to be a little bit more specific so that we can memorize what these new additions are, we can right click and choose to rename it. So I'll name this maybe top inset. And there you have it. So I can move this away and see the result. So what this does is it gives you some level of history so that you can reuse these, quickly get back to the different stages that you created, but it's all contingent upon hitting the Enter key or the Apply key. That's where it stores the information. So let's switch to an entirely different primitive. Grab that ring, I'm trying to scale it, okay, and change the number of segments. I may actually make this go through both of them somewhat. Can scale that end down or scale it up. Same thing here. Okay, and again, I can just hit the Enter key. And I forgot to come out of subtract mode, so that's one thing you have to be mindful of. Go back to Add. So I might as well go ahead and delete that last entry there. I'll hit Enter one more time. Added it again. Okay, so if I want to completely step out of the primitives tool to see the result, I can just select another tool, and we can see how that works. So all I need to do is to bring up any one of those stages is to simply click on that particular preset. And so if I wanted to, I could actually delete individual parts or just clear the entire layer and start again with any one of these or all of these. So it's a pretty powerful little way of working, and if I right click, you can update a preset. In other words, if I want this to stay intact but just modify it a little bit to where it's stretching outward on the top instead of leaning inward. And instead, I'll just update this one, update preset. Okay, so choose top inset, go back to the one I just created, and you can see it updated it. All right, so that's a quick look at the primitives history stack. I think Andrew is going to continue this on with other tools in the sculpt room, so stay tuned and thank you for watching.